Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Today this video is going to be a little bit different. Today is the day that I go and get my Lasik eye surgery. So I've worn glasses for 20 years and I'm super excited to take this step in life. I'm also really freaking nervous. Need something to calm my nerves right now, you know. So I spoke with the surgeon. I'm okay to vlog this as long as I don't get any other patients in the video because, you know, HIPAA. So I'm going to be vlogging everything that just happens today, as well as I'll have really close-up footage of my eyes being done. So I'm really excited to show you guys. Maybe it can give you guys a sense of mine. I am going to Hoops Vision. It's in Draper, Utah, and it's one of the top-rated places. So I am paying a pretty penny, a couple grand to get this done. But they are so extensive when they do your first consultation. That took me about 4.5 hours. So they did all sorts of different types of videos of my eyes, pictures of my eyes, mapping of my eyes, and all that. So I have astigmatism in both eyes, and I have a really high prescription. Mine are like in the -4s. So I have very unique eyes. So the surgery's costing me over $4,000. Granted, I have HSA through my work, so I'm not paying that fully out of pocket all at once, thank God. So they say that I can see almost immediately, but they don't want me looking at like TV and my phone right after, so I'll probably just come home and try and go back to sleep. I'm really tired. The only thing that sucks is I can't put anything on my face. So I washed my face really good last night, and then I showered this morning, and my face is so dry. It's just that time of the month that time of the year, not month, time of the year that my face just dries out. So it's like, it feels tight like a sunburn, and it sucks that I can't put any moisturizer on it. So they do prescribe you some artificial eye drops, as well as another prescription eye drops for your healing. They say that you'll have to do it for about three months. You'll still need to use those artificial tears. And then so the whole process is they cut your cornea and flip it back. So when they're done, they just flip the cornea back down and they smooth it out, but they don't actually stitch it or anything. So for 3 months, if I were to rub my eyes upward, I'm going to flip that cornea upward. So I had to be really careful with that. I can't wear makeup for I think 10 to 12 days. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, I'm really excited. So I'm going to bring you guys along with me, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and this will be a multi-part video, so. But I am very nervous. Nerves are just setting in even more. I've had this appointment scheduled for about a month now, and I'm still freaking out, low-key, you know. I know they give you something to ease the nerves and everything, but I don't know that that's going to help. I'm currently driving to drop my car off. I'm going to meet my boyfriend at the dealership. I have to get an oil change and my 15,000 mile service, so I figured I might as well just leave my car there overnight since I can't drive for 24 hours, and then when I have my follow-up appointment tomorrow, I can pick it up because they're right next to each other. So a couple things that they say that can go wrong, which I'd rather not think about before the whole surgery, but I'll tell you guys anyways. So they say that it might not work. They don't know until after, right? By the time you turn 50, you need reading glasses, which most people do. And then they don't really know how well I'm going to see until after, and then I'll go to my follow-up appointment tomorrow, and I think I have 3 appointments every 3 months for the next year. And then I just see a regular eye doctor after that. Say the laser can malfunction on you. It's not common, but it can. They also say that the laser is designed to follow your eye because you're awake, your eyes are open. If you move your eye, the laser's designed to follow your eye, and if it can't find your eye where it was working on, it shuts off until your eye gets stabilized back. They do also numb your eyes, I think, with eye drops. I'm not entirely sure. We didn't really go over that process that I remember. I don't know, but it's been about a month, so. Okay, so right now we're just checking my prescription again. They gave me antibiotic eye drops and then just went over the whole process of putting in artificial tears and everything. So it's almost time. Okay, so they put me in two different lasers. The first laser is what actually cuts the cornea and opens, or so that they can flip that flap back. The light was so bright that shines on it, it was really hard to keep my eye open. Plus, they use these weird metal things to hold my eye open, and it actually hurt. And I told him, I like pulled my hand up and was like, ow, because it felt like it was pinching me. It kind of reminds me of the little metal things you get to dip your eggs in the dye for Easter. So, this part also was the worst part for me because they put something right against the eye and the pressure of it was just uncomfortable, but it's what helps stabilize your eye so that they can cut around it, which is what's going to start happening here is you can actually see the cut. It looks really weird, but also very cool. So right here is when you can actually see the flap being created, which is really cool to see up close. So to the right where the girl standing by herself is, that is the laser that actually corrects the vision. So they'll move me over to that one shortly. Um, to make the flaps, it took about 25 seconds each. They did have to put some more numbing stuff on it because the little clamp that kept my eye open really bothered me. Once they put the more numbing drops in, I didn't feel it and I got more comfortable. I was still super nervous. I had every piece of me clenched up, as well as my hands like squeezing my chest. So this part was the worst for me. When they put that suction over my eye, it put a lot of pressure on my eye and the laser pushes against it. So it was really uncomfortable with the pressure. You also lose vision during this time when they cut the cornea. It was only about 25 seconds long, but it really had my anxiety just going through the roof. My whole body was just clenched up and nervous. This is when they moved me to the other laser. They're just side by side, so they're adding antibiotics and then adding some more numbing to my eyes. That numbing actually wears off faster than you think, more fast than a dentist. You can see how fidgety and nervous I was. So at this point, you can see my eye on that screen. I couldn't really open my eye once the cornea was cut. The light was just way too bright for it. Right now, they were just discussing to make sure that the pictures I took of my eyes prior to the surgery had made it over to the laser and gave it the right mapping so it knew what it was supposed to do. This part looks a little bit crazy with my eyes rolling to the back of my head. I really just could not open my eyes, and then they taped down my top and bottom lashes for this part. That was a little bit awkward for me, and then they put the little egg scooper thing in my eye again, and just looking at the video of it looks even crazier than it felt. Even at this point with more drops, it was just really uncomfortable. So at this point, he is marking the eye so he can lay the cornea back down and make sure that they line up so there's no folds or bubbles in it. And then he's cleaning the eye so that there's no debris when he lifts the cornea. They kind of put some drops on it. I'm not sure what the drops were, but then they squeegee it. I could see that whole thing. It was a little bit blurry, but I could also see the squeegee just going across my eye, which looked really weird and made me want to flinch. When he lifts the cornea was probably the craziest thing to watch because it was almost like you could feel the pressure, but you could also watch the tool go under the cornea and lift it. And then once the cornea was just lifted, it was just like blurry, but then everything was super bright. So it was really hard to want to keep my eyes open, but I really didn't have a choice. Watching this video and seeing this looks so crazy to me. So the eye correction on my right eye took a whole 9 seconds, and then my left eye took 7 seconds, which this was probably the fastest part, but it did take about 2 minutes to lift the cornea up and then put the cornea back down. So this part took about 2 minutes for them to lay the cornea back down, as well as just smooth it out and make sure there was no air bubbles in it. So they now just add an antibiotic to my eyes to help make sure I don't get any eye infection, and then smooth out the cornea again. Then they add some steroids to my eye, and that's just to, strengthen the eye, make sure the eye tissue is strengthened. If you can look at the bottom of my eye, which is actually the top, just the way the video is, it looks like the bottom. They broke some blood vessels in my eye, and when I went for my follow-up appointment, they told me that it'll take a couple months to heal, but it's fine, completely normal. They also have me using the artificial tears, so I use the antibiotic every 4 hours, the steroids every 2 hours, and the artificial tears every 30 minutes to an hour. And the only one that's long lasting is the artificial tears. Those can last me the rest of my life, depending on how dry my eyes are. And
or they can last me just a few months. They recommend a year for you to use them. So while this other eye is going, I must tell you guys that you cannot rub your eyes because the cornea is not stitched back on or anything. It's just laid back flat, and it can take up to 3 months for it to heal completely. That's why they have you do a 3-month appointment to see if it's healed. They recommend you using downward motions on your eyes to clean them or to take off any makeup, which you cannot wear makeup for 5 to 7 days per this doctor. They also, I mean, you don't want to rub your eyes already, but if you rub up from a downward up motion, it can lift that cornea, which can cause a lot of problems. So it's just recommended to use super light makeup until that cornea heals.
Okay, so I'm done. I have to kind of like keep my eyes closed just so they don't dry out. So the whole process was great. When they cut the cornea, that hurts just a little bit. The numbing's wearing off, so my eyes feel like super dry when I open them. It took about 9 seconds for this eye and about 7 for this one to actually do the corrective part. So I just have to get my eyes looked at, make sure there's no debris or anything, and the cornea is flipped over correctly, and then I'm day 2 of LASIK. I feel great. My eyes feel really heavy. Other than that, I feel great. I can see, and I'm really excited. So the only downside is like you can't get your eyes wet, so like you have to shower with goggles, and like the eye drop steroids leave like crusties around your eyes, so you have to figure out how to clean that off. But I'm gonna zoom in and see if you guys can see my eye at all. Okay, so I'm currently at the doctor's. I can read the very bottom line up there without glasses, and each eye I can read, so that's super exciting. I could never read that when I wore just glasses. It was really weird this morning to wake up to not have to put on glasses. Like I immediately reached for my glasses and I didn't need them. So it is a snowy day here in Utah, so I'm waiting on the doctor and we'll see what he says. Okay, you guys, I'm not driving. I just got to the dealership to pick up my car. I just wanted to tell you guys that I have 20/20 vision, so I'm really excited for that. Never had 20/20 vision in my life. I mean, other than with glasses, you know, and these contacts are, I mean, these lenses are crooked as shit. So I can't wear makeup for 5 to 7 days. I can't rub my eyes, can't get my eyes wet for like 4 weeks, which kind of sucks. Because like, how am I supposed to wear makeup? So I'll probably just throw on some lashes and a little bit of mascara and call it good for a little bit. Other than that, I do have to go back on Friday for the same, another follow-up, because they damage your white blood cells. Is that what they said? Something about white blood cells, and they start to group together, and I have a lot grouping together in this eye. They want me to use the steroids every 2 hours instead of every 4, and then come back Friday and see how it is. So I'll follow up with you guys on Friday and let you guys know what they say. Hopefully this video will be posted on Sunday, and yeah, hope you guys enjoy.